What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this Wednesday. I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm sure some of you may have already heard about these subs that took over a bridge in Lincoln Heights, Ohio, hanging their little neo-Nazi signs. You know what I mean? And the thing is this: the people there in Lincoln Heights wasn't having it, and they shut it down. So much to the point that they actually took the neo-Nazi flag, set it afire. You see what I'm saying? Even though these subhumans had guns, long rifles, and what have you, and to add insult to injury, they actually had the police sponsor their little shindig here on that bridge, you see, and nobody was even arrested after the fact. Now, I'm sure there was all kinds of laws broken. You see, what these subhumans need to understand while they're trying to kick off this war is that nobody's backing down. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's afraid. People out here got the same thing y'all got, if not even more. And I know for decades, you've enjoyed watching our people, use those things on each other. But with you acting like you're acting now, you finna turn that thing from aiming at his brother onto you. You see what I'm saying? And why not? Because after all, you are the enemy, because you will not let peace be still. You will not. You just keep on keeping on till you start a war that you can't finish. That's what it all boils down to. You see, these little subhumans right here. Okay, now what I want us to do, we got probably about 3 videos to watch. Okay, very, very interesting videos showing the good people of Lincoln Heights shutting this mess down, and what have you. So let's check it out.
Next tonight, a disturbing scene in an Ohio suburb. A hate group dressed in all black and some waving Nazi flags gathering on an overpass in the Cincinnati area. They were confronted by residents of a historically black community. Here's ABC's Perry Russell.
Tonight, the clash above a highway near Cincinnati, Ohio. Neighbors confronting neo-Nazis dressed in black, waving swastika flags on an overpass north of the city.
In this neighborhood, we do stand for something. This here turf is golden soil, and it won't be tarnished with things like that.
At least one neo-Nazi seen holding a long gun. Police shutting down the overpass, trying to keep everyone apart. The neo-Nazis taking off in a U-Haul. One person seen running down the road, throwing something against the side of the truck. A swastika flag ripped away and set on fire. A minister from a nearby Baptist church holding a prayer service, calming tensions.
People are afraid, they're scared, they're angry.
These neo-Nazis were wearing similar clothes and face coverings to the neo-Nazis who marched through downtown Columbus, Ohio in November. Black community leaders later making the same march as a counter-protest. Tonight, the mayor of Cincinnati says messages of hate have no place in the region, writing, "This is not what we stand for, and it will never be what we stand for." And there was concern on the ground that police were letting this protest happen. Police say while the protest was offensive, it was not illegal.
Lincoln Heights residents took a stand against white supremacists. While the neo-Nazis were there to spread hate, Jamal Howard says he had his own message.
They jumped into a U-Haul, man. We pushed up on the bridge, grabbed the flag, and as the people here, we burnt the flag right over there.
Howard was coming home from school and says he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He's feeling intimidated.
And I'm like, wow, we still doing that in 2025? We just gotta have some meetings about it, because I'm fearing for my life. I walk outside all the time, and now I gotta be in fear just in case anything could happen now.
Other local leaders heard the same message.
This is a historic community as well. And these were people who had marched. Some of them had been with King and had been in that movement, and now they're seniors, and they're like, we can't believe that we're back at this point.
Lincoln Heights Village Council member Durance Daniels says this protest will be top of mind at the next council meeting.
Proud in our residents for, showing up. You saying that, hey, we're not going to allow anybody to come in and bully us in any type of way, especially in this moment.
He also wants to talk to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and even nail police for not breaking up the neo-Nazis protest sooner. Evendale police say, although it was an ugly display, it wasn't unlawful, and no arrests were made. Reese says the only way to stop it is to take a stand against it.
This is not going to be the place where you're going to set up shop here. And I think we've got enough people that are willing to say, hey, I'm going to speak out, and I'm not going to let this happen on our watch.
I had to elevate myself and hold myself to a level of responsibility and accountability and charity and business ownership that I could be proud of. And I got to stop at a stop sign and somebody called me the N-word.
Eric Ruffin stared down a group of people holding Nazi flags and guns just a few hundred feet from his business. Anyone who drove along I-75 near Evendale Friday afternoon saw the same thing.
Officially letting you know there is racism in America.
Residents of nearby Lincoln Heights soon arrived to protest the Nazi demonstration.
This is something that we all need to take a stand for. We need them to know this is not the 1960s. This is 2025. We are not playing at this time around.
We're told the people on the bridge came and went in a U-Haul, leaving shortly after locals arrived. Evendale police released a statement that the demonstration, while offensive, was legal. Protesters took issue with that response.
You're allowed to have a protest, but where's your permit? Where's your permission? And then inciting hate, calling people niggas. That's not right.
When Fox 19 arrived, this car had its windows smashed and its tires slashed. Protesters stated that they believed it belonged to one of the men with the Nazi flags.
That's hate. That's what hate is. That's what hate gets you.
Protesters say they were shocked and disgusted by what they saw on that overpass, but their gathering was about standing together.
This is unity. This is all you. Nobody's here to fight. Nobody's here to cause any trouble. Nobody's here to do any of that. But what we're not going to do is have hatred.
This love, like this united. Like we united. Like
I hope that this can change, but you have to realize that this is a big issue.
Protesters say they saw hate and they stood their ground. They say they want to know if the masked people on that bridge will simply retreat without repercussions.
What's going to happen next? That's the question. What happens next?
Now, here's a question I have. I just heard that George Lopez sent out a tweet talking about black people need to basically, help Hispanic or Latino people in what they going through. You see what I'm talking about? That they helped us do this and they helped us do that. They ain't helped us do a damn thing. They was just there for the accolades, you understand, of what you call civil rights, affirmative action, and all that kind of stuff. They was there to get that. And everybody got it except so-called black people for the most part. You see what I'm saying? Because they even trying to take that away. But here's my question right here. Where are Latinos right now while our people are battling this thing on our forefront right now? Where they at? Ain't every one of them getting deported? You see what I'm saying? So here we are, you understand, with this dilemma of how Latino people, want to leave us hung out and dry, you know what I'm saying? But then want to talk about when they go through their little trials and tribulations, where black folks at helping us. Maybe because you ain't for us, we ain't down for you. That's basically what it is. But to move on, in light of this situation right here with these subs, these little wannabe white wannabe supremacists, doing this right here, the people of Evendale and also Lincoln Heights are arming themselves, and it's having an effect on people that are neutral in the game, or appears to be anyway. You understand? So let's check this particular clip out.
Greg, Tanya, tensions are high here in Lincoln Heights right now. In fact, as we were coming into Lincoln Heights earlier today, right at the I-75 exit, we saw men with those long guns guarding the area near what looks like a pop-up tent of some kind. And while some are saying this is disruptive and dangerous, they say they're doing what they can to protect themselves. New body camera video shows the moment police responded to a neo-Nazi demonstration in Lincoln Heights. It's part of the reason a group of residents in Lincoln Heights are now arming themselves to patrol their village.
Putting a lot of people in danger by doing this stuff.
But some like David Piscopo say the display, while understandable, is becoming disruptive.
Neighborhood watch, but to another level.
He claims he was approached while heading to a work site in the area.
As soon as we got off the exit at the first stop sign, we were met with groups and groups of people putting on bulletproof vests, holding guns, and just linked up. And they had walkie-talkies and stuff, but nobody in a uniform.
He says because of this misunderstanding, he had to abandon the job and he potentially lost a client. But those armed residents tell me these patrols are about ensuring their safety because they're concerned about police conduct.
As the story is being told, we have to remember that this atrocity is what I refer to it as, occurred at 2:30 in the afternoon when babies were being dismissed from school. That is something that is unacceptable in a community. Obviously, that creates panic.
After flyers with the N-word declared a race war began circulating on Tuesday, the residents declined our request to be interviewed. But they did allow a local pastor in their community to speak to WCPO on their behalf.
What became clear yesterday was that there has been a pretty significant deterioration in the relationship of the sheriff to the community. That's why people feel they don't trust the policing, the law enforcement that exists in the community.
Democrat State Representative Cecil Thomas met with the state's public safety director and says clearer guidance is on the way.
We don't have to create a new law, but we want you to be very clear as to what the law says in it.
Now, we're told by Representative Thomas that they're coming up with a training memo that they'll disperse to all local law enforcement departments that clarify what they can do as it concerns that disorderly conduct and that inciting violence statute and how they can enforce that. In Lincoln Heights, Jay Shakur, WCPO 9 News.
Thank you. What I want to tell David Piscopo, talk to your people. Talk to them. Tell they ass to stop coming out here with long guns and protesting some so-called white wannabe supremacists. As far as we know, hey, you could be a part of them. So quite naturally, the good people of Evendale was going to stop you and say, halt, who goes there? That's basically what it all boils down to. You see, this is what's going to happen. They ain't nothing but a bunch of damn cowards that was chaperoned by law enforcement. Basically was letting them do what they want to do because they speak for them too. That's what it all boils down to. But here's the deal. The so-called black people of this nation is tired of the BS. And there's finna be some serious consequences and repercussions. So you may want to think about what you're doing before you do it, because if you don't, well, there's going to be some casualties in the mix eventually. And that's just what it is. You know, folks tired of this mess right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Sit your unhappy, infidel asses, incel asses down somewhere. If you can, go get a life. You see? Because you ain't ready for this right here. You really aren't. What you're doing is waking up a sleeping giant. Something you're not ready for. You keep it up, you're going to get what you're asking for. But when you get it, you're not going to want it. That's all I got to say on this. What say you people? I'd like to hear what you think about this particular situation, which I know pretty much you won't be able to even, probably voice your opinion simply because the same kind of people that was up here on this bridge protesting is behind censorshiping your comments. That's basically what it boils down to. But whatever. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. That's even if the like stays up. I don't know. But if anything you do, make sure you do this. See, they got no control of this right here. Make sure to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are, and so are they. This is James, and I'm out.